Hi, you guys. So while I'm editing our Google Drive tutorial, I thought I would do a short, knock on wood, tutorial of Gmail. And I am not going to cover the basics like creating a new email, sending, replying, all of that fun stuff. I kind of want to go over more of your settings that allow you to make your inbox work for you in the best, most efficient way possible. So first thing, right off the bat, we have our inbox. I am using our SL guest because my inbox does not follow all of the tutorial tips and tricks that I am going to share with you, and I am an unorganized potato. So we have our inbox. Let us start by going to our top right and hitting this gear icon. This is where our quick settings are at. And for the most part, you will not have to deviate past the quick settings. Most of it. So first one is how we want our inbox organized. The default option is personally my favorite because, as you can see from this little icon, it allows you to see attachments straight in your inbox view. And you can actually click them and open them. And you don't have to go into the email and then go into the attachment. So this is actually how I have my personal and my work email set up. But if you don't want to have that attachment clickable option, you can just go to comfortable and it keeps it about the same size. If you want to have the most, some would say efficient, compact, get all you can in your inbox view, you would go with compact. And watch this email. It just kind of shrinks it so that bare minimums, who it's from, the subject, and like a short snippet, and it's compact so you can get more in a view. The next one is your theme, and this one's not really how to make it more efficient for you, but it's how to make it less mundane, because let's face it, we are going to be using the living daylights out of Gmail in the coming school year. So when you click view all, it takes you to like this preloaded Google. You have more images from Google. You have very basic color-coded themes from Google. But the feature that I want you guys to pay attention to is actually this My Photos down here. What that does is it allows you to use a photo that you have taken and put in your Google Photos as the background of your inbox. So if you went on a family vacation and you're like, oh my gosh, my kids look so cute and like they love each other, I just want to see it all the time, you could put it as your inbox background. And let me show you what that looks like. When we click the image, it literally just puts it as the background of your email. It's there forever and always now until I change it. So back to our quick settings. The next one is your inbox type. Personally, I leave it on default. This allows me to either have it so that all of my emails are in one folder in my inbox until I move them specifically, or when I click customize, I can add tabs to the top of my inbox that kind of do a very preliminary sorting for me. So primary is pretty much your one-on-one conversations with people or with small groups where you've manually entered the recipients. Social is more like your YouTube and Google, or if you have like Facebook or whatnot attached to your school account, they would also go there too. Promotions are going to be deals and offers that you receive. So I quite frequently receive some from Demco for library supplies, and they automatically get filtered into promotions. Updates are going to be stuff like bills, receipts. Whenever I order something, this folder generally is where it gets filtered to. Forums, this one is probably the one I use the most outside of our primary tab. And that is because whenever we send an email to one of our mailing groups, so for example, S staff or else teachers, this is where it goes, as forums. So it's nice being able to have my individual conversations in primary where it's one-on-one or one-on manually entered few versus my group discussions with you all where we are trying to like brainstorm together. And I'll just show you really quick by clicking those. it creates the tabs up here that I can then click into. And that is how I have my email set up for work. But I know that's not for everybody. I know some of you very much like having all of your stuff in one place. So if you have tabs up here and you're constantly losing emails because you don't know where they're being sorted, you're just going to click your settings, go to customize, and you are going to deselect all of those. Okay. Back to our gear. These I will go over briefly, very, very briefly, but I don't use them all that frequently. But I want to make sure that you guys are aware of them as options. So you can have important first. So this little arrow, when you click it, it can be filled, and that is you marking that email as important. So you can sort those first. Some automatically come in marked important, which is why important differs from starred. Starred, you have to manually star them for each email. This one might be very useful for some of you. It will go ahead and have all of your unread emails filtered to the top of your inbox. Priority inbox kind of combines these three into one, and I'll show you what that looks like really quick. Priority inbox, you have important and unread, you have starred, and then you would have everything else. So if I didn't have that starred or marked as important, and we refresh, it filters it down here. Multiple inboxes, we actually really don't have a practical use for that here at Sprague, because if you have a sprague.wednet email account and a lamont.wednet, in the background, I've already created the ability for them both to go to the same inbox. If I didn't do that, then you would utilize multiple inboxes. But I have taken away the necessity for that. The next one is reading pane, and pretty much this is how you view your inbox. So no split means you will have your inbox here, all of your new emails, and when I click one, it will fill up your screen. These two options allow you to have your inbox either on the right-hand side or on the top, and then the message itself next to it or below it. So let me show you what that looks like. I click right, the inbox is on the right-hand side. When I click it, the message that I have clicked is viewable here. That way I can still see my inbox. I don't lose that view, but I also am able to get into emails and kind of do searches through them. Okay, the next setting is one that I've had to change for multiple people, and it is probably the most controversial, as far as settings can be controversial, and that is this conversation view. What that means is emails, when you have a thread of emails going, Google considers that a conversation because, gasp, it is a conversation. You're giving information back and forth. However, the part that they have kind of given you the option to alter on this is whether you want that conversation to be seen as one message where you have the thread below it, or if you want each give and take of that conversation to be viewable as individual emails. So I am sending an email from my phone right now that is going to be in reply to this. And I will show you what that should look like. Now there should be two, once it refreshes, there are two messages in this conversation. There we go. With conversation view on, it still looks like one email. However, if we look at this little 2, it means I have 2 messages in this conversation view. I am so sorry. This is like the most confusing thing to explain. But when I click into it, as you can see, I have 2 messages from Stephanie Kanzler. If I were to go in and click, type in thank you. Now I have a message from Stephanie, a message from Stephanie, and a message sent from me. And see how it's nested under itself, almost like a little Russian nesting doll? That is how conversation view works. Think of it as a Russian nesting doll. If the problem with this view is that, as you can kind of see and imagine, it becomes very easy to miss one of the emails in this conversation, especially as you get more and more and more and you scroll. You can very easily skip over one of the responses. And I know that has happened. So if you don't want that to be an option or a possibility, you would simply deselect conversation view. So we'll reload the inbox, and what'll happen is there'll be two messages, because it's not going to show my reply. You'll have two messages. The original from me, from Stephanie. The second email from Stephanie. And if I were to send another one, it would pop up here, even though it is all in the same conversation. It started with this books and tech subject line and has continued as responses to this books and tech line. They will now show up as individual emails. I am so sorry if that was a little convoluted. We're going to move on before I stick my foot further in my mouth. So when we click this gear, the other thing that we have is see all settings, and this will take us to our main frame of settings. I'm going to show you them because there are some that are very useful, but don't worry, I know this looks overwhelming. We are just going to hit on a couple of very key ones that I think make your email yours. So the first one is default text size. This pretty much allows you to make your font within your email defaultly changed. So I can change the font style, I can change the size of it, I can change the color of it. And now when I type a new email, it will be with this font, this size, and this color. It's a nice way to add a little flair of personality to your emails. Okay, the next one I want to touch on is signature. And this one they have recently changed, and I kind of hate how they did it. You used to just have a box here, you would type it in, you would click save, and that was it. Now you have to create a new, we have to name it. So we're going to name this one Stephanie because the signature is going to be mine. Now we have this box where I can go ahead and type in Stephanie Kanzler, library, IT. I can type, I promise you guys, don't judge me. And, you know, the school's phone number. Okay, so what this does is it creates a signature at the base of every single email that I send. However, this is another step that you have to take in this new one. You have to select where you want this signature used. For new emails, I want it to be sent from Stephanie. For replies and forwards, I want it to be signed as Stephanie. The reason that you have to do this is because if you have multiple signatures, they might assume that you're sending new emails as the Alumni Association, whereas replies and forwards, I am doing specifically as a member of the Alumni Association, so Stephanie. For our uses, I don't think we will ever need to have that set differently, but you have to remember to set this part, or else it will think you don't want a signature and you'll have to manually add it each time. So the next one that I want to show you is more for you to set boundaries, and that is the vacation responder. So if we come to Christmas break and you're like, oh my gosh, I am so overwhelmed. I need people to be aware that I am utilizing Christmas vacation for vacation. You would come down to this vacation responder and you would turn it on, and then you would come in and you would set the date. October, 21st and the last day. Let's do January
Where's January 4th? So now from the 21st of December to the 4th of January, you could come in and say, Stephanie is out of the office. And you could put a beautiful message down here and then what would happen, we could have a couple of other customizations where we send it to only people that are in our contacts list or only people who are in the Sprague School District. If I don't have either of those selected, it's going to send it to any person that emails me during this time frame. Okay? Now, last thing, very important, we have to actually click Save Changes. Because if we go back to our inbox, all that we just did will be for nothing. It will be gone. It will be erased. It'll say, ha, you should have clicked that button. Okay. A couple more things in settings that I want to cover. So our gear, see all settings. And the last one that I really want to, there are two that I really want to go over. So we have our chat and meet settings up here. As you can kind of vaguely see, there are tabs up here. Chat and meet. Personally, I always have chat turned on and I have show meet section in the main menu. What that does is on our little menu over here, we have our meet section so we can join a meeting straight from our Gmail. We can start a meeting straight from our Gmail. We don't have to navigate to the Meet website. But the part that I use the most is by having chat on, we have Hangouts down here now. And this allows for instant messaging right away. It is so great when it finds, who I'm looking for. There I am. I can click it, it creates a message, and I can say, I need help. My computer is dying. And now on my phone, on my email, I now have this message and I can go, oh no, Stephanie, SL guest's computer is dying. That's terrible. And I can be like, oh my goodness, be right there. And instantaneously it'll pop up. The nice thing about this is it will also keep a record of that in your inbox as well. So if you have a chat going and you've forgotten some element of it and you can't search it very easily, if you come to all mail, all of those chats are there and you can search for them at that point. Okay, very last one, I promise. Back to our settings. I use this to add a little bit of flair to my emails, I guess. I also use it for the bulletins. And it is going to be, I have to find it on here, it is going to be templates. So we go to advanced, we have templates, and I want to enable that. And I will show you what that does. So through a third-party website, I've gone ahead and I have created this lovely template. I can edit it, but I can also just input it into an email. So I'm going to start by stealing it from Stephanie because I need it. Gonna drag and drop. I'm going to copy it. Now I'm going to open a new email. Delete my signature because I don't want it right now. I'm going to paste it. So see how it carried it over with all of its integrity and prettiness? Okay, this is where templates come in, and I love it. We click this 3 dots down here. Templates is an option. I'm going to save draft as template, and I'm going to put test for this. Okay, that's great. I now have it saved as a template. Throw that email away. Okay, I'm going along through my work and I have to make an announcement to parents and I want it to look nice and professional and add a little bit of pizzazz to it. Gonna go compose, that signature again. This is an unfortunate thing that I do have to do each time I want to use my template. I know there's a workaround for it, but I just don't do it. Okay, to add my template now, I'm going to come to these 3 dots. Templates. Remember I saved it as test. When I click test, boom, it has thrown that template directly into my email, I can come in and I can edit it, and I can say my name is SL Guest, delete Stephanie Kanzler. I can then go up here, I can change. By the way, it saves your title of your template as the subject line. So if it's something you're going to use a lot, like I do for the bulletin, I save it as a fillable subject line. So for bulletin, I save it as Sprague Bulletin, colon. That way, I can then just come in after I've popped that template in and put in the date when my number locks is not shut off. Okay, that's how I do it for the bulletin. I have something similar set up for my library announcements and all of that stuff. But then I would just go ahead and I would enter in the email recipient, make sure everything's edited the way I want, and it now has sent that template all professional and pizzazzy looking to my recipients. That is my favorite thing in Gmail that I've discovered in the last year or so outside of the chat icon. Okay, that is it for this Gmail tutorial. I know that there are more settings in there, and I might do another Gmail tutorial, but this was just one that I wanted to get out of the way while I'm editing our Google Drive one and trying to make heads or tail of my outline for it. So thanks. If you have any questions, let me know. Bye.